Stradey Park, one of the most prolific producers of rugby giants, now a mould that could turn one of these little lads into a future colossus of world rugby. Stradey's summer standstill has ended early to allow its famous turf to become a rugby nursery, a kind of production line that hopefully will turn out another Carwyn James, a Barry John, or a Terry Davies. But paradoxically, this cradle for Llanelli rugby has been provided to fill an unlikely gap in the town's sporting facilities, an almost complete lack of primary school amenities for rugby in a town that's produced a sparkling galaxy of international talent. So the rugby club itself has stepped in to foster Llanelli's rugby babes. School teacher Howard John expected about a dozen boys aged 6 to 11 to attend the first coaching session here 2 weeks ago. Instead, he has more than 70 junior scarlets on his hands, enough to form 3 squads under the tuition of himself and 2 qualified coaches. The response is hardly surprising in a town with Llanelli's traditions. But how real were the fears of a rugby recession here, unless a nursery scheme could be launched?
Well, I think the fears were very real, because what with the lack of facilities and no coaching facilities in the junior schools, of course. What you've got to remember, all the schools in the Llanelli area are very, very old schools. They've got no fields, the yards are very small, and most children are restricted from playing any ball game in any yards in schools. So I was afraid that, well, if we didn't do something like this, well, the interest in rugby would just wane, would just die away gradually.
Some of the boys here tonight are very young. They seem to be no more than 6 years old. Isn't it always possible that with boys as young as this you might break their spirit rather than encourage their interest in rugby?
That's a real possibility. But of course they turn up, and we don't like to squash them. We try to dissuade them as gently as we can and say, well, look, you're a little bit young and you're a little bit small for this sort of thing, so come back in a year or 2, you see. We hope their interest will be maintained.
I know you've been running the scheme now only for a couple of weeks, but have you noticed any budding Carwyn Jameses or Gerald Davises so far?
Well, the amount of talent that's round about, well, it's fantastic. You can even tell at the age of 7 or 8, you know. We've got some now, they're budding Clive Johns and Barry Llewellyns. I don't know about Barry John, but it's really great, the amount of talent here. You saw some of these boys, you know, some of them are under 10, see the size of them? Now that's what we haven't been getting in the past, you see. And it seems now that we're quite successful, and we're getting these big boys with a bit of handling ability. That's what we're looking for, and a flair for the game.
You wouldn't think that boys like these would need any real encouragement, yet there are special incentives involved in this scheme. One of them is the consideration of a dozen rugby scholarships, which will involve meeting Llanelli's first team and going away with them on some of their away matches. One of the other incentives being offered is a special Junior Scarlets badge. And if I know boys, there's no bigger incentive than to belong to that exclusive club along with Carwyn James and Ray Williams.